Hey everyone, my name is Vishal and I welcome you all to the presentation on India's electric vehicle market analysis. This presentation is going to be a part of Code Basics Resume Challenge 12. So without a further ado, let's get started with the project overview. Atlic Motors is US-based EV manufacturer, and over the last 5 years they are able to capture 25% of the EV market share in North America region. They are well known for their reliable and quality products. And now they want to introduce or launch their best selling models in Indian region. They do sell their products in India, but their market share in India is less than 2%, which is a area of concern. But the real question arises here, why they are targeting Indian market. An answer to that is India being the world's largest and most dynamic EV market in South Asia region, as per the reports, is on a track of becoming world's largest EV market by 2030. And being a data analyst, I have been tasked to draw some meaningful insights by analyzing India's EV market and come up with some strategies or recommendations that would help Atlic Motors to increase their market share in Indian region. Moving forward, let's take a look at the data in our hand. The timeline considered for this analysis is from financial year 2022 to 2024 for different makers and different states, focused only on two-wheelers and four-wheelers vehicle category. It also incorporates the external factors such as number of charging stations available in different states, which help us gain more comprehensive view. And the dataset has been sourced from the Vahan Seva portal that ensures the reliable and up-to-date information. Given the data overview and project overview, now let's get started with the insights focused on the primary analysis. At first, we are going to take a look at the EVs market in India. The total addressable market, which includes the two-wheelers and four-wheelers vehicle category, not just include the EVs, but also includes the traditional vehicles, which accounts for 57.22 millions, and EV specific market, that is service addressable market SAM, is of around 2 millions, which accounts for 3.50% of the total addressable market. And the SAM here, that is service addressable market, helps businesses to set realistic goals and expectation from the EVs. Moving forward, let's take a look at the top and bottom three makers by two-wheelers vehicle category. Ola Electric is at the top with the market share of around 31.63%, and their sales has also increased compared to the prior year by 52%, followed by TVS and Ather, which accounts for 17 and 10% of the market share. They also saw a significant rise in their sales of around 120% for TVS and 40% rise in case of Ather. On the other hand, we have a bottom three makers like Jitendra, Kinetic Green, and Battery Electric, which accounts for less than 1 or 1% of the total EV sales. Similarly, we could find the top and bottom three makers for four-wheelers vehicle category. At the top, we have Tata Motors, which holds around 58% of the market share, followed by Mahindra and Mahindra and MG Motors, which accounts for 26% and 8% of the market share. And at the bottom, we have Volvo Auto India, Kia Motors, and Mercedes Benz, which accounts for less than 1% of the market share. Moving ahead, the top 5 states with the highest penetration rate in two-wheelers and four-wheelers vehicle category for financial year 2024. In case of two-wheelers vehicle category, we have Goa at the top with the penetration rate of 17.99%. And in case of four-wheelers vehicle category, we have Kerala at the top with penetration rate of around 5.76%. And if we look at these states, in case of two-wheelers and four-wheelers vehicle category, we could find a common states like Goa, Kerala, and Delhi. These states position themselves as the key market for EV sales. After analyzing the states with high penetration rate, let's now identify are there any states with a negative penetration rate. There are two states with negative penetration rate from financial year 2022 to 2024. In case of two-wheelers vehicle category, we have Ladakh with the negative penetration rate of around 0.41%. And in case of four-wheelers vehicle category, we have Andaman and Nicobar with negative penetration rate of around 1.11%. Now let's get started with the trend analysis. This line chart shows quarterly trends based on the sales volume for top 5 EV makers in four-wheelers vehicle category for financial year 2022 to 2024. The quarter 4, that is the month of Jan, Feb and March, consistently outperforming other quarters, highlights the peak in consumer demands, accounts for 31% of the total sales. And the reason behind this I could find is in India, the financial year ends in the month of March. In order to take tax advantage or tax benefits, consumers and businesses make purchases in this quarter. The second reason I could find here is makers generally offers discount in order to clear inventories. On the other hand, we have quarter 1, that is the month of April, May and June, shows varied performance across EV makers, with Mahindra and Mahindra achieved their highest sales in quarter 1. Moving ahead with the seasonal trends for EV sales based on the data from financial year 2022 to 2024. And from this line chart, we could identify every year sales are increased and peak sales are observed in month of March and November. These months consistently generates the highest sales. And the reason behind this for the month of March, I already explained one of the reason, that is the physical year end. In order to take tax advantage, people or consumers generally buy electric vehicles in this month. And in case of the month of November, this is the festive season in India, like Diwali. On the other hand, we have June consistently records the lowest sales across all financial years. Before moving forward, let's talk about the CAGR, that is compound annual growth rate, which help us understand the growth trends and help to generate future projections for sales, revenue, etc., making it a key indicator in financial and market analysis. And this is the formula to calculate the CAGR. Now we have an idea about the CAGR. Let's take a look at the top 5 makers with the high CAGR in four-wheelers vehicle category. At the top, we have BYD India, has achieved a highest CAGR of around 566.52% among the top 5 EV makers, highlights its rapid expansion and aggressive market entry strategies. Followed by Hyundai Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra, MJ Motor, and at the bottom we have Tata Motors. Despite being the top EV sellers in India with a dominant market share of around 58%, Tata Motors has the lowest CAGR at 94.71%. Let's take a look at the top 10 states that had the highest compound annual growth rate from FY22 to 2024 in case of total vehicles sold. So these are the top 10 states, which includes Meghalaya at the top with 28.47% of CAGR, followed by Goa, Karnataka, Delhi, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Assam, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, and at the end we have Andaman and Nicobar. The total addressable market growth in these top 10 states shows a strong market expansion with an average CAGR of around 22%. It also shows the diverse adaptation, that is high growth in these states indicates the the broad consumer adoption of both electric and traditional vehicles. Now, based on the CAGR, let's forecast the EV sales in 2030 for the top 10 states by penetration rate. Maharashtra at the top with the projected sales of around 13.4 million units by 2030. At second position, we have Kerala with projected sales of around 11.8 million units. Chandigarh and Delhi expected to have a lowest sales around 1 million units each. Goa, despite having the highest penetration rate of around 9.84%, the expected sales are 2.4 million units by 2030. And the top 10 states position themselves as the key market for EV expansion. Revenue growth rate of four wheelers and two wheelers EVs for 2020 FY22 versus FY24 and FY23 versus FY24, assuming an average unit price for four wheelers vehicles of around 15 lakh Indian rupees and for two wheelers vehicles of around 85,000 Indian rupees. The year-over-year revenue growth for two-wheelers from FY22 to FY24 was significant, reached approximately to 270%. However, the growth from FY23 to FY24 slowed considerably, just to 28%. A similar trend was observed with four-wheelers vehicles, where the year-over-year growth rate was 367% for FY22 versus FY24 and accounts to 83% from FY23 versus FY24. Overall, four-wheelers contributes to 58% of the total revenue. In secondary research, we are going to discuss about the parameters that has a positive effect on the EV cells. So let's get started by knowing the primary reasons for customers' inclination towards four-wheelers EVs in 2023 and 24. The first and the most promising reason I could see is the government incentives. The, the Indian government offers financial incentives such as subsidies on purchase price, reduced road tax, and registration fee exemption to make EVs more affordable. And these all covered under the FAME Phase 2 scheme. And this way, government plays their part to promote cleaner and greener transportation option. Following the financial advantage, we can also see a significant cost saving due to lower running cost. EVs led to substantial saving as electricity is generally cheaper than the price of petrol and diesel. Also, EVs have lower maintenance cost as fewer components can wear out or need regular servicing. Moreover, beyond the financial aspects, there is a substantial environmental aspect. Air pollution is a significant issue in many Indian cities, and EVs provide an eco friendly choice for the long term. Let's take a look at the impact of government incentives and subsidies on EV sale. Government incentives and subsidies significantly boost the adaptation rate of electric vehicles by reducing the upfront cost. Subsidies helps in direct reduction in the purchase price of the EVs. It also provides tax benefits, exemption or reduction in road taxes and registration fees. And nowadays, process for registering EVs particularly handled by the manufacturer or the distributor. So now in India, which state provides the maximum subsidy and incentives? Though every state has its own criteria and policy for electric vehicles, Maharashtra provides the maximum subsidy of around 2.5 lakhs for four-wheelers vehicle category and 20,000 on two-wheelers vehicles with 100% exemption on road tax. Additionally, they provides benefit for scrapping the old vehicles. Moving forward, how is the correlation between charging stations and infrastructure with the EV sales and penetration rate in the top 5 states? The scatter chart shows the relation between charging stations and EV sales. We observed a positive correlation between a charging station and EV sales, with the most number of charging stations Karnataka ranks second in the country for the highest number of EV cells, with the penetration rate of 7.14, followed by Maharashtra. Maharashtra, despite having the less number of charging stations compared to the Karnataka, able to sell most number of electric vehicles. This highlights the importance of infrastructure of charging stations in achieving EV adaptation. Why setting up a manufacturing unit in India is crucial for Atlic Motors? There are four possible reasons. First one is the growing demand. India is one of the fastest growing EV market in the world. By having a local manufacturing presence, Atlic Motors can better meet the increasing demands for EVs in the country and potentially expand into the neighboring countries. Second reason is cost efficiency. Manufacturing in India can significantly reduce the production cost because the labor cost in India is comparatively much lower than the other markets. Also, the availability of the raw material in India is significant. This allows Atlic Motors to price their electric vehicles with the competitive pricing in Indian market. Third reason is market proximity. Establishing a manufacturing unit locally helps Atlic Motors to fulfill the market's demand. Fourth reason is government incentives. India offers various incentives for companies who set up their manufacturing units, especially in EV sectors, by providing these subsidies, incentives, and tax benefits. Provided the needs, which state is ideal to set up a manufacturing unit? For this, I have three considerations in mind: subsidies provided, ease of doing business, and stability in governance. Keeping this consideration in mind, Maharashtra will be the ideal state to set up manufacturing unit. As we already seen that Maharashtra provides maximum subsidies not only to the consumers but also to the EV manufacturers to, in order to ease of doing business. Maharashtra is the huge market in EVs. It also provides proximity to large consumer market. And at last, Maharashtra is well developed industrial infrastructure with major automotive hubs in Pune and Mumbai. Maharashtra is well connected with the all Indian states. Now that we have identified the ideal state for setting up our manufacturing unit in India, it is equally important to consider who will represent Atlic Motors in this vibrant market. The right brand ambassador can significantly boost our market presence and connect us with our target audience. To build trust and establish a strong connection with Indian market, crucial for brand recognition and customers loyalty, Atlic Motors need a well-known face to represent them in India. Given this, I am thrilled to suggest MS Dhoni should be the new face of Atlic Motors in India. He is a well-known personality in India and has a wide appeal, embodies the values and vision of our brand, makes him the perfect ambassador to connect with our Indian customers. Let's get started with the recommendations. As Atlic Motors are looking to launch their best selling models in India, they should launch in states with a strong charging infrastructures. Focus on Karnataka and Maharashtra for easier EV adaptation. The second recommendation would be establish a manufacturing hubs in incentive rich states. Set up facilities. Set up facilities in Maharashtra or Gujarat to lower production cost and offer competitive pricing. Third, invest in local R&D centers. Develop R&D facilities to adapt EVs as per the need of Indian market and preference. At last, thank you for staying till the end.